See if you can let me in here. Work. See if you can let me in here. So we're waiting for Mark, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no worries.
And I'm connecting us to YouTube right now. And it looks like we are live. Live on YouTube. Okay.
Andrew, there you go.
There he is.
Hey, sorry.
And Mark, we are live on YouTube and live on and being recorded.
Okay. Good evening.
Hello.
Um,
Whenever you would like to start, Mr. Chair.
Oh, yeah, all right, I'm on. Yeah, we'll call the meeting to order. Got new business item A, ordinance number 938.
okay. So ordinance 938, this is the public hearing, is amending chapter 164 zoning and subdivision of land of the Westminster City Code, Article 1, general provisions, section 164.3, definitions of word usage, to add a new definition of satellite automobile storage lot, to amend Article 10, IR restricted industrial zone, section 164.54, special exceptions to provide for satellite automobile storage excluding car washing facilities as a special exception use in the or permitted use. In this case, we're actually proposing as a special exception use. To amend Article 20, special provisions, to add section 164, 155.5, satellite automobile storage, provide new standards for the grant of satellite automobile storage in certain zones, and to amend Article 22, Board of Zoning Appeals, section 164, 166, action prior to hearing to repeal section 164, 166F. So I'll go through these separately. So the first one, the satellite automobile storage. The concept is that currently today we don't allow automobile storage in the zoning ordinance in any zoning district. We do allow automobile sales and service, but not just automobile storage. So we were contacted by Coons Westminster Toyota, who is actually located outside the city, to purchase. They were looking at property out near the airport, zoned IR, and wanted to do automobile storage. So, being that it was not permitted, we coordinated with the ECDC, that's the Economic and Community Development Committee, to come up with a concept of the satellite automobile storage lot. Essentially, what this allows is if there's a automobile car dealership sales lot existing in the city, they can have a satellite automobile storage lot within the city as well. So again, this would only be for dealerships that are located in the city. in working with Coons, they understand to take advantage of this use, they would have to annex the property. And it's adjacent to the city, so that is possible. And they are prepared to move forward with annexation. With this, we did provide additional regulations regarding the storage lot, setbacks, landscaping standards, lighting standards, and so on. That is the special provision section. We did take this back to the ECDC. They were in support of the draft text amendment. We introduced this draft text amendment to the Mayor and Common Council. They also supported it and asked us to take it to the Planning Commission for a recommendation. The second aspect of this is the section 164, 166F. And I think we all remember this, and Chair Albers certainly remembers this. This is where a special exception application is required to come to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a recommendation. In fact, the Planning Commission doesn't even have to give a recommendation. And this did happen not too long ago when we had a series of special exception applications we brought before the Planning Commission. And the Planning Commission chose not to make any recommendation. And that's when this discussion occurred as to eliminating this requirement altogether. So again, we brought this to the Economic Community and Development Committee. They supported this amendment to actually remove it in its entirety. We did look at instead of a shall statement, possibly a may statement. So case by case, but in the discussion, it was determined that we just remove it in its entirety. We took this to the Mayor and Common Council. They also supported it and forwarded a recommendation to take back to the Mayor and Common Council. And that's really it. If you have any questions, I'm available.
So this
I
is
guess I'm
only
just
for-
confused. Are we still coming to us and asking for a recommendation, or we're not?
No, not. So in this case, we would just remove section 164, 166F would be deleted from the draft, from the ordinance. So special exceptions would follow its normal, which is normal in most cases, where the special exception goes solely to the Board of Zoning Appeals. The Board of Zoning Appeals decides on the special exception, and then ultimately a site plan would come before the Planning Commission.
So I guess, what are you asking us tonight?
So if we go down to the recommendations, so we're recommending that the Planning and Zoning Commission forward a recommendation to approve proposed ordinance 938 as provided in attachment 1 of this report to the Mayor and Common Council.
Got it. Is there a motion to approve the proposed ordinance?
I would just have one comment before.
Sure.
So one council member made a statement in the report on this, which is something that I guess I have often mentioned that we should just be aware of, and that was the fact that when we add these type of uses to our industrial zoned land, which is not overly abundant, you are potentially reducing the amount of that higher level use by what I would consider probably a lower level use as a parking lot. And I cannot remember which council member mentioned that, but I just wanted to state that I'm really in agreement with that. But in all cases, when we've done it, you kind of want to allow the property to be useful in some way. And at this point, that is a use that's being offered. So I never really, stood in the way of any of it. I just kind of like to bring it up to be consistent, that we just do keep that in mind, and hopefully we won't, we will have enough industrial land in other places if the need should arise. That's my only comment.
I tend to agree with you there, Kevin. I sort of read the same thing too, where it was like, this is an industrial use area, and then we're basically turning it into a parking lot. And some of the concern was, or at least one of the comments or something in the report was like, well, it goes from like an industrial use area to just like we could dump vehicles here and other types of equipment, right? But, at the same time, I think there was support among the mayor and common council to go ahead and do this. And I suppose if that's what their recommendation is, and I agree with you as well, Kevin, that, best to use it as than not to not use it, right? And in this circumstance,
Right.
it seems to be helping a local business. And so, I guess if it was just going to be like to turn this into a junkyard and, dump old cars that no one's ever going to use for parts, then, perhaps that would not be quite the use that we want. But it sounds like it's more of a like inventory lot for, Toyota or whichever business it is. Yeah, I do agree with you there, Kevin. Anyone else have any comments?
I agree.
But with that said, though, is there a motion to approve the proposed ordinance number 938?
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
I guess all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That was Ms. McNulty who made the motion, Mr. Beaver who seconded it. Yes, the council is voting on a recommendation to approve the ordinance. What's next on the agenda? Item B, got the agenda there, Andrew. Item B, proposed ordinance number 939.
And for this one, ordinance 939, again, this is the public hearing for the ordinance. 939 is amending chapter 164 zoning and subdivision of land of the Westminster City Code, Article 25 site plans, section 164-211H lapse of approval to add section 164-211H2, and it should be N3 to allow for a one-year extension to an approved site plan. So this came up because primarily due to the pandemic time period and the lack of availability of workers and supply shortages, that any site plan that was previously approved by the Planning Commission could be lapsing and therefore be considered null and void. And they would have to come back through the site plan process and incur that cost and time because of that one-year time period. So what we're asking, and primarily due to this issue, that a one-year extension can be granted by the zoning administrator if there was a site plan that was approved during the period between January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2022. So after December 31, 2022, if there's a site plan approved, they cannot take advantage of this section. The addition following the Mayor and Common Council meeting was to add an additional ability to grant one more year after the 1 year granted by the zoning administrator. So that's where we did add another section allowing the Planning Commission to grant a 1 year site plan extension, ultimately two total, due to good cause. So quickly, if they submit the request to the zoning administrator the first time through, it's an automatic approval. If they need one more year after that, they would have to provide some type of justification and come before the Planning and Zoning Commission for them to grant that second year. And with that, staff has recommended the Planning and Zoning Commission forward a recommendation of approval of proposed ordinance 939 as amended and provide an attachment 1 of this report to the Mayor and Common Council.
Thank you. Any comments from anyone on the commission?
No comments here.
No, sounds reasonable.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
I would move to make a favorable
Mr.
recommendation
Beaver.
to approve.
Mr.
I
Beaver.
second.
Oh, there we go. Mr. Beaver's made a motion. Ms. McNulty is seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
This is passed. Pass along a recommendation to.
I take it there are no public members. out there?
That too, but I didn't hear Andrew chiming in.
We have not heard from anybody from the public regarding these two or with this ordinance or the previous one.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that in the report, so but I figured Andrew would stop me before anything too. So, what's next, Andrew, on the agenda?
The Carroll County Liaison Report, Mr. Chair.
There she is, Miss Weber, Carroll County Liaison
Love the
Report.
excitement. Thank
What's
you.
going on? Give us the good news.
So I want to
What's
thank
the most
Andrew and
exciting
Mark.
part of the P and Z meeting.
Wow, thanks. I don't hear that much. But I want to thank Andrew and Mark for letting me do my updates since I wasn't able to come last Thursday due to Veterans Day. Just some quick updates. We forwarded the residential text amendment to the county commissioners. They're actually currently in a public hearing tonight for the text and the rezonings. And we're going to have a couple more work sessions with them before it's adopted. So anybody that's still wanting to make comments can do so. The second update is the water and sewer amendment that Andrew presented to you guys. It was forwarded to go to public hearing this morning by the commissioner's open session. And then lastly, there is a transportation master plan survey that is available for citizens to take. That is open and available until the end of the month. And that's it for me, if there's no questions.
Any questions? Hearing none. Is there any other commission or public comments from anyone? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
There's been a motion, a second. The meeting is adjourned.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
thanks, everyone. Hey, Small Business Saturday coming up. Don't forget about that.
Absolutely. See you guys.
I'm just glad that they're going to maybe have cars down the road to put on those lots, you know, to sell them,
True.
to look
That's
at
true.
them before you buy them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, tough time to buy a car now. Here, they're we're paying for them, right? Yeah, good stuff. See you.